Hold on. There we go. There we go. That's why. I got it. Hold on, Tiff. Hold on. Hold on. I'm getting it, y'all. I'm getting it. There we go. Ta-da. All right, Tiff, can you hear me? All right.
Loud and clear.
Whew. Look, that was some trying time, but okay. Okay.
You got it. You can hear me.
Yes, I can. Loud
All
and
right.
clear. Loud and clear. All right. Yeah. My
It's
sister
a
called
progress.
my sister called me last night, was like, did you know you went live last night? I was like, no.
You didn't even realize it.
No. And I was on there for like 20 something minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Really went out to eat and stuff just happens. But anyway.
You know what? I think I may just I need to probably get the other. I'm
Just
trying
run
to
out.
multitask here.
You good. We ain't gonna start till we ready.
Man, what a Saturday. How's it going?
It's
Like I
been
had to swoop that hair, right? I was like, oh,
it's been an early Saturday, getting things knocked out though. So that's
that's a good thing.
yes, yes, yes. All right. Come on,
Just
Jarrell.
transfer
Welcome
things
in,
over.
everybody. Just give us a few minutes. Look, we are setting up. We're not perfect, you know. We gotta get things together.
Just cut it out. Blessings, everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
Heart me, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
There we go. Hold on. Just need the light in front of me. Sorry about this.
You're fine. You're fine. People,
Start on it.
welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Good morning, everybody. Give us one moment. We're just setting up.
We're good.
Good.
Hold on. I think so. Hold on.
Okay, no problem.
I'm having.
It's been a minute. We just warming up, you know.
Wait, I'm at the exit. Come right back.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Just give us a few moments. We're just trying to set up. Look, it's been a while since we did this, so we gotta, get everything together. All right. Good morning, everybody. Though, hope everybody's having a great Saturday so far. It's not too early, so hope everybody's getting out and appreciate you for the repost. Appreciate you, V. Appreciate you. Welcome. Good morning.
Blessings. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. I'm working on.
Oh,
It's just a.
you good? Take your time.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. That's like good morning. Let me try to make sure. Good morning. Welcome everybody in.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Nicole.
I like.
Hey,
That's
this
cool.
this happens. Welcome in, Spicy Latina. Welcome in, V. All right, you good?
I'm good.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Like I said, go ahead and share to look. Everybody needs to hear this because it's about to be real good. All right. Welcome back to another powerful episode of the Positive Life Coaching Live. I'm your host, Vaughn, Coach No Fear, Dr. No Fear these days. And today I'm joined by a special guest, the incredible Naturally Tiff. Today we're diving into something we all struggle with, and that is letting go of the old to make room or let the new come in, basically. Whether it's emotional clutter, outdated habits, or even physical items that don't serve you anymore, this episode is for you. All right. So, how many of us are dealing with that right now? Or we can look around where we're sitting in our homes, in our cars, anywhere that we are, and we can literally see the dust, the lint. Some needs to be wiped off. We have old clothes that we've been holding on for 5 to 10 years. We have dressers and TVs that we've been holding on for centuries, not even years, centuries. But now it's time to upgrade. It's time to make our lives a little bit easier by adapting to life, because life is continuously moving. So we have to adjust and adapt to the society, basically. Not meaning we have to do what they're doing, but we have to equip ourselves with the things and tools that we need to be able to move through life a little bit easier instead of, watching that old gray and black and white TV. Now they have 4K TVs with a little bit clarity, a little bit more focused screens. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is just letting go of the old physically, mentally, and emotionally. All right. So I'm going to let Tiff tap in a little bit.
Blessings, everyone. Happy Saturday. Thanks for everyone being here. I'm super excited about this because letting go is one of the most challenging things in life. Guys, if it was any challenging things or that you was hard to let go, whether it's like, it could be something small, like, oh, I don't want to let go of that shirt. I had that shirt. It could be any little thing that's small, that you was refusing to let go. That relationship, it took a long time. We all go through these different challenges because it's what is familiar to us. This is all we know for quite some long time. So we just hold on even when we know it no longer serves us, right? Holding on to to a pen that's running out of ink and we keep shaking it, shaking it. I remember having a little pencil and you keep sharpening, sharpening, sharpening to the nub. You won't let that pencil go. But the truth is, you can't step into anything new, or any new seasons while carrying the weight of your old ways, no matter what it is, even if it's the little things. So, I'm super excited about this topic. Thank you so much for having me here. I would say I never called you Bob, but Dr. No Fear, the life coach, I appreciate you for having me here. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right. So the way that I kind of look at this topic or issue is basically I always compare it to cleaning out a room in your home. Picture a room with the dusty boxes, old clothes, broken electronics, and outdated things that have been sitting there for years. You might ignore it, but it still takes up space. And once you finally clean that room, suddenly you realize how much lighter it feels, physically and mentally. The same is true with our lives. Again, we have to let go. We have to declutter. We have to release some of those fears, those doubts, that anger, and even some of the loss that we have dealt with in our life. Because we have to remember that everybody is not meant to be brought on our journeys through life. Sometimes we are intentionally meant to meet someone for a short period of time. They're either purposely to pour into us, or we're pouring into them. But we have to sometimes realize that we can't hold on to everybody, because sometimes we have to make room for the new people to learn and experience our gifts to be able to move through life as well. Um, if you want to go ahead and tap in on that a little bit too, just a little reference.
Yes, yes, yes. I see you muted yourself. Yeah. Um, so sorry, I was just into the chat as well. Thank you guys for tapping in. We appreciate all the taps. Those who are saying good morning coming in, we appreciate that as well. Just to piggyback on what Vaughn was saying about cleaning out the rooms in the house, which is really important. Recently I've been taking on this new journey of looking at, things that I need to clean out, things I have been holding on to for years that I haven't even updated. So it really starts to sit there and things don't start working anymore. If you get what I'm saying, I had a TV for like since 10 years and now I can't even find the remote. All right. I mean, the remote is ain't working for the Fire Stick. Things become a little challenging. You got to get a new one. It's just so many things, and it's time to actually start to look at what's just been sitting there, what needs to be updated. And that's the thing about our journey that we need to look back and look at in our rooms. Like this just been sitting here. Like why is it just still there? Some of it is collecting dust. And when that dust is not good for your health, right? If y'all can answer in the chat, what's in your house that's just sitting there collecting dust? You know, if you had to go into whatever area, you probably don't even realize that it is. Because, we're going through life and we're just moving and sticking to whatever we're used to. But sometimes we have to go check and start doing a declutter, start cleaning, start really looking at things, whether it's our old habits, same thing. And our stories in our life, we got to stop saying the same thing. Our stories, many different things that we are holding on to, old relationships, everything still applies to the same thing. Right. We had this, just like my TV been sitting there for years. I'm like, I should have been had a new one by now. Why I didn't get it. Right. And it's the questions that we, subconsciously that we overlook and then start thinking about our relationship. Like, why I didn't think about updating this and why I didn't. So you want to still look at everything in a broad way, even your habits. If the habits ain't working the same way, you want to think about that. You want to start thinking about, hey, are these habits good? And if it's not, that means it's not healthy for you, just like the dust ain't healthy. How many people's allergic to the dust? You start sneezing, things ain't right anymore. Come on now. Start have to wipe things down. Remember you see on the Saturday is cleaning time. It's like, oh, got to clean the house so you won't be sneezing, allergies and stuff like that. So letting go means, just forget about certain things, not completely, but acknowledge it. First step to making sure letting go something is acknowledge. Is it still working? Is it not? Because sometimes we not looking. I'm like, is this still working for me? Is it not? And if it ain't, it's just the TV alone. And I'm gonna piggyback on what Ron mentioned about the TV. I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I don't even understand the F2O and the FE and what's this? This is deep, right? Because this is how our lives play out, right? So take back when the TVs was black and white, right? Imagine how the story was told, but when it started getting color and things start getting vivid, right? We start looking at the story. It's like our own lives, our story, right? So the more that we realize to make it more sharper, more clearer, right? So the F2O, it's a good quality. You can see it, but the FE is more deeper. You can see things from from a deeper perspective, just like the lessons in our life that we want to be able to show people. So it's the same way, I don't want to go too deep on it, but I was trying, and I was like, you could learn some stuff about just TV, but think about who's making these TVs. Same brand, same different brands, many different brands, but they sitting there thinking about updating it to get it better. To say, you know what, that's the old thing we created. What's the new way we need to make sure that it gets better? And that's the same thing we need to apply to our lives. And yeah.
Thank you, because that is exactly where I was leading into about the TV. It's basically like upgrading the TV. The old TV might technically still work, but it's heavy, outdated, blurry, and doesn't support the things that modern life offers. Like you're not going to be able to hook a Fire Stick up to a black and white TV or the old big screen TVs. You're not going to be able to connect the internet to it either because it doesn't have access to the Wi-Fi. So you can't take advantage of new features while holding on to the old equipment. You literally have to move the old one out to bring the new one in. Life is in the same way. You can't receive new blessings, new opportunities, or new relationships while holding on to outdated versions of yourself. So know that the world is always moving. Life evolves, people evolve. But if you stay stuck in old habits or old comfort zones, you begin to feel behind, like life is passing you by. The truth is, growth requires movement, and movement requires release. So you got to let go. You have to let go. I know we hold on to so many things just to make it a part of our stories or the part of our testimonies, but use that to give you the strength and the motivation to push yourself to become better, to learn new habits and new gifts and new skills, like I talked about yesterday. While we're waiting on these prayers that we're asking God for, instead of just sitting there waiting, learn some habits or some skills to better your abilities and talents to be able to withhold those blessings and things that you're asking for. Because again, you got to have a strong foundation to be able to move forward with anything. Because if you can't, withstand these $25 or little Toyota problems, you're not going to be able to handle the BMW and the Lexus problems, and be able to manage $25,000 instead of that $25. So be grateful and be mindful of what you have, but also let go of those bad habits that are not allowing you to grow or to better yourself in any way or any fashion. So that's basically what, the whole point of this, again, live is to realize that, yes, those are, old habits and old things that we keep in our head and in our mind, but we got to release it mentally, emotionally, and physically to, again, make room for the new. Because the more you hold onto that old, the more lint, the more dust, the more clutter you're making, and you won't be able to receive the blessings that you're asking for. So, look, your turn, Tiff.
Guys, if you're agreeing, any thoughts that you guys want to put in the chat, I'm seeing everything coming in. We are both going to mention these things, but I totally agree with what he's saying, because this is true. This is true. And I love when he mentioned how you got to get the Wi-Fi, how everything is growing, everything is evolving, life keeps moving. And that's the thing that we have to see, that life is evolving. People have to evolve, right? So example, everybody know, I work for the city. I see it's time for like certain subways, whether you go to a different country, they got the newest technology, faster trains, this, that, and the third. And I'm from NYC, so everybody want to complain like, oh, we so outdated. So now when it's time for us to step it up and really be updated with what, trying to catch up with everything that's going on, people don't want to evolve. They want to stay stuck in their ways. Right now, they want to hold on to what they only know. Wait, also we complain that we want to be up to date, but we not willing to take the action. So the tips that we sharing in here is like, hey, we talk about letting go to old, but some people don't really want. They talk about it, but they don't want to let go to old. So we just being honest here. Sorry about that. Is making sure that hey, I love the token days. Don't get me wrong, but I love now to easy just to be like boom and keep it going. Just keeping myself up to date of what's going on. The same thing it applies, because you watch people, like some people is not gonna wanna let go. And if they hold on to what's not working anymore, think about all the problems that you had with it's not working no more. A MetroCard is bending. Look, now you can't get through. Now you wait. Now you gotta buy a new one. Now you gotta wait weeks. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? So it's to find the better ways and be open minded to the new, and not be afraid to those new habits, the new ways. I don't mean to dive in, bro. He laughing at me. I'm just saying, but we just can't stay stuck into the old habits and what's comfort. Most people want to stay what's comfortable. This is easier for me. This is better. But you wouldn't know if this is better if you don't try it. We have to be willing to try something new. I'm just saying, if people agree, we have to be. It's like, what's not working? I remember I was teaching one day, and a guy was like, I don't really give a damn what you saying to me. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I smiled with it because you in my class. You get what I'm saying? So it's clearly something you're not doing right. And he was like, I know how to apply for a job. I know. So I was like, okay, if you keep doing the same thing, you would get the same results. And that's what insanity is about, right? And then he had to stop and put the laptop down. And he was like, so what are you saying that I should do differently? So I was like, networking is key. It's how you communicate, it's who you know nowadays. And he never thought of that. Look at that. See? Never thought of these new things, these new ways, and look. not only did he get way more opportunity he was imagining, it was like, wow, that one little idea, that one thing of saying, I gotta put this laptop down for a second and stop thinking this is the only way, because there's so many ways. It's your go.
Well, look, you was on the roll, but look, I'm definitely look, I'm about to tap in. So, what really holds people back is fear. That's what it really boils down to is the fear of change, the fear of the unknown, fear of letting go of what is comfortable. But when you stay still too long, you become the outdated version, like that old TV, unable to support the life you're meant to live. And letting go doesn't make you cold hearted; it makes you intentional. People, habits, and environments serve seasons. Some seasons end. And that's the part where it's the hardest for us. We always want to hold on and hold on and hold on because it brings, the good memories. It brings that good feeling of, being happy, being joyful, being at peace. Because, when we take our minds off of those situations or those moments, we, tap into real life. And real life is hard. Real life brings that pain, that pressure of you dealing with your emotions and, being in your head and thinking about all the things that's going on in the world, which, brings on that depression, brings on that anxiety, brings on that unsettledness. So that's why you tap into those old things, because that's what makes you comfortable and make you, feel at peace. But if you continue to do that, you're going to, again, not make room for the new. You have to release those things. And if you try to drag everything into the next chapter with you, you'll be too weighted down to rise. So when you release the old, you send a message to the universe. I'm ready, I'm open, I'm prepared to elevate. Your hands can't grab what's meant for you if they're full of what's no longer serving you. And I'm going to repeat that one more time. Your hands can't grab what's meant for you if they're full of what's no longer serving you. So that's why you got to let go. You can't grab nothing with closed hands. You got to open up. You got to open up to be able to grab and receive the things that, look, you're praying for, you're asking for, and what you're intentionally putting in the work to get to.
I love that because it made me think of that image. I don't know if anybody saw that on social media, where is an image where the person is holding on and the rope is around the wrist. I don't know if y'all remember that. And it's like if you just let go, if you let go, the relief, how it makes you feel. I don't know if anybody saw the post, how you're tossing the paper up and the feeling that it gives you. Anybody let something go and you stepped into your new ways or your new place or your new environment, that good feeling. How did it come on, how did it feel? Y'all know when y'all start doing new things, even if you change up your environment of, oh, you know what? I want a new look. And you get that new look and you like, I'm just saying. Okay, so what really holds people back, and he mentioned some great stuff about is the fear. Most people are afraid, right? If I get this new, I got to take time to learn it. Most people don't want to take the time to learn or afraid to how this is going to be or what's the new headache, right? Because we don't got time for a new headache. We know how to work this part and fix this because we'll keep trying to fix it and fix it as much as possible until it's no longer could be able to fix. Right? I'm just saying, letting go doesn't make you a cold-hearted person. Because most people be like, oh, you must be cold. You always cutting things off. You always just letting go. I let go of certain bad relationships, but it doesn't make you cold-hearted. It's just knowing who you need to be aligned with, right? If the person's not uplifting you, they're not encouraging you, if your habits is not getting you to your next step, if it's not helping you accomplish your goals, if it's still making you stay in your procrastinating ways, or still you find an excuse reason why, then it's time. It's time to say this is not getting me the outcome that I want. This is not getting me nowhere. And this is the real conversation you gotta have with yourself, right? Yep. I said sometimes you're forced to get to new things, embrace it, yes. And God will put things in front of you without you even realizing. I was at work today and this my coworker just came back. She was like, I found these flowers, these roses are for you. And I said, oh wow, you just never know when the new thing is going to be offered to you. And it's how do you accept it? Because some people it's hard to accept because they just so familiar with what was never what they used to. All right. People, habits, the environment, you just never know. And if you try to drag everything in, to your new chapter, it may not have the great outcome that you're looking for. Right. It may not. You may need to say, you know what, with these new roses, with these new flowers, maybe a new vase with it. I can't hold on to the crack one and it's leaking. It's not going it's not. It's not. So you just want to be broad of thinking about things in a different way.
That is so true. That is so true. So if you're listening and feeling stuck, for everybody that's in this, look, sorry, looking at the chat. Congratulations, V. That's a blessing. You know, everything happened for a reason. Look, not to interrupt our topic, but no, her husband was in an accident, and they were 1 month away from paying off the car. So she just put in the chat that they got a new car yesterday. So that is definitely amazing to hear. That's congratulations for real. That's look bringing tears to my eyes because that's exciting. Like that's good to hear. God does things in miraculous way, and everybody his car tumbled, and the only thing that stopped him was a tree. So nothing but God, for real, for real. So thank you for sharing that, V. Thank you so much. And I did say that yesterday, didn't I? I did say out with the old, in with the new, and look at God. Look, I'm not no pastor, no preacher. Look, I'm just sharing what God, puts in my heart and mind to share with y'all. So, congratulations, V. That's all. That's all I can say. So yes. So if you're listening and feeling stuck, start small, y'all. Clean a space. Donate something you don't need. Release a mindset out of you've outgrown. Distance yourself from a habit that drains you. Every release is an invitation for something better. Again, like I said, you have to let go of that pain, that hurt, that loss, that feeling of that you're not good enough, feeling like you can't make it out here because God didn't give you what you needed to do to get through it. You got to shake them feelings. You got to shake them emotions. You got to get out of that hole and really believe in yourself and know that God took you down this journey for a reason. He showed you, that these old things do work, but it's time to upgrade. It's time to pour into you. It's time for you to see the bigger picture, that life isn't just about, wishing and wanting things. It's about actually putting things into act, making those visions and dreams come true, believing in yourself that no matter how it may look, no matter how it may feel, I know that I can do this. I got this. I got to know first, let go of these old habits, these old things that I felt that were making me comfortable and getting me through life. No, you got to adapt, build new adaptation to new things that's going on in this world to make sure that you are equipped to deal with it. Because again, trials and tribulations come each and every day. But if you have the mindset and the tools to refocus and realign yourself for what you're trying to achieve in life, that's all it's going to take. But at first, you got to let go of the old so the new stuff can come in. I do have some tips, of course, to help you guys, but I'm going to let Tiff, if you have anything else to share before I go into those tips. And of course, I have reflection questions too. So we're going to ask a few questions at the end of the helpful tips, just to give y'all, get y'all brains moving. But Tiff, do you have anything else that you want to share before I, go into those tips?
No, I just wanted to say I agree. Definitely start small, guys. Even if it's just looking at your environment, looking at, where you're at, seeing what needs to be replaced, seeing what, you've been holding on to. Start small and just take the time to reflect. Reflect on saying, hey, what habits I'm staying stuck into, and question yourself why, right? Why? Because sometimes if we don't identify, we try to think we can replace it and still revert back to it. And we don't want to be reverting knowing it's not going to get us the outcome that is not going to give us. I look forward for these reflection questions and these tips. Is definitely going to help you guys. I'm definitely going to be in the chat. So I'm going to give it back to you.
All right. But I do have one more thing for y'all before I get to them tips. I want y'all to think about, what am I holding on to that no longer fits the person I'm becoming? I want y'all to think about that while I go over these tips. What am I holding on to that no longer fits the person I'm becoming? You're going to have to clear the dust, remove the cobwebs, and make space for your blessings. Just remember that. All right. So These tips. The first thing Tiff kind of already mentioned earlier in the live was acknowledge what you're holding on to. You can't release what you don't recognize. You take time to name the emotions, the memories, the relationships, or habits you've been carrying. Awareness is the first step to freedom. You have to acknowledge it. Like some of us have so many thoughts and relationships and memories and emotions that these people made us feel at those times, locked up in a safe, deep in the dark spaces in our brains. But we truly have to tap into those feelings. We have to tap into those emotions. We have to remember those bad relationships and those bad habits to be aware of what we used to do so we can get to where we're going. We got to release those things. We got to let those things go. And again, awareness is the first step to freedom. All right. And it's 12 steps. So I'm going to try to go kind of fast. The second tip is to accept that the past can't be changed. Letting go starts with acceptance. And that's a lot of us hard for us to do. We can't accept the things that we've been through, but we have to learn to accept those things because those things are what have made us into the people that we truly are. They have made us and molded us and built us into these individuals that are able to, withstand the storms that come on our daily lives. You don't have to like what happened, but you can free yourself from trying to rewrite it. Acceptance creates emotional space for new blessings. Third tip, forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means releasing the emotional debt that keeps you tied to yesterday. Forgiveness is one of the fastest ways to create space for growth. Letting go of the weight, dropping it off, forgiving those people that, cause trauma and drama to you, even though they may not have apologized to you. Again, forgiving is for you. It's allowing you to release yourself from the prison within your head. Next tip, declutter your physical space. Your physical space reflects your mental space. Clean out closets, drawers, old devices, expired items, anything that represents old energy. That means let go of them old shoes, let go of them shirts that got the holes in it, look, the underwear too, let it go. Let go of the dresses that got the whole drawer hanging out with the handle hanging off and swinging. Let it go. You got to let this stuff go. We got to make space for new stuff. Every item you remove sends a signal to your mind. I'm making room for new things. Because, we get excited when we make that purchase. We get excited when we're about to bring them new things into the house. But we got to clean out and make space for it. Next tip, let go of roles and identity. Let go of roles and identities that no longer fit. Sometimes we hold on to who we used to be. Allowing yourself to grow out of old versions of yourself. Give yourself permission to evolve. Again, like I said, we get so used to the way we grew up or the way our mom was or the way our dad was that we try to hold on to those traits and those, things that make us feel comfortable. But sometimes we have to realize that we are advancing, we are growing, we are changing, and it's okay to change because if it's in a positive manner, it's okay. More people won't or don't understand how to accept the new you, but that's okay because you have to, accept yourself first, accept the new you. That's what we have to do to be able to show or give people an example of why we like our new us. Because we let go of those old bad habits, we let go of those fears, we let go of those doubts, and now you actually are starting to love who you really are. Because that old you is not, giving you the satisfaction that you're looking for or what you are trying to become. All right, move a little fast. Stop replaying old stories. You can't heal by hitting rewind every day. Interrupt the mental loops. Replace why did this happen to me with what is this teaching me? We have to learn that failure and, loss does not always mean that it's happening to us for a bad reason. It's happening because it's teaching us something. It's allowing us to gain a skill that makes us basically strong enough that those type of events won't affect us anymore. It's always a learning lesson. It's always something that we can learn and build with. 7, seek closure, even if you have to create it. This goes back to, like I was saying, if someone doesn't apologize or tells you that they're sorry for doing whatever they did to you, this is how you seek closure by yourself, by creating it. You may never get that apology, explanation, or clarity you wanted. Closure is something you give yourself. Write a letter, speak it out loud, or release it in prayer. Surround yourself with new energy, new people, new routines, new music, new environments, new habits. Changing your surroundings helps change your mindset. Number 9, practice gratitude for what once was. Be grateful for the way old experiences shaped you. Gratitude allows you to hold the lesson without holding the pain. Letting the pain go and being thankful for what you've been through and growing through that and after that. Number 10, focus on who you are becoming. Shift your attention from the past you're leaving to the future you're building. Let me read that again. Shift your attention from the past you're leaving to the future you are building. Visualize the new chapter. See the new growth, new blessings, new opportunities. Number 11, pray or meditate for release. Spiritually surrounding what you can't control invites peace. Ask God to lift what you no longer need to carry. Rest in the knowing that what's meant for you is already on the way. And the last one is take small steps every day. Letting go is a process, not a switch. Each day, choose one thing, mental or physical, to release, even if it's small. Over time, small releases create massive transformation. So, those are the 12 tips to help you to release these things and allow new things to come in. So, Tiff, do you have anything you want to elaborate, add to that?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Guys, look inside the chat. The 12 tips is in there. I'm definitely putting all the tips inside. I love these tips. These tips is definitely going to help you. Just to piggyback off of or little reminders, those who are coming in, we appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much. And, one he mentioned was to acknowledge what you're holding on to. Guys, if you don't take the time to acknowledge what you're holding on to and why you're holding on to it, that is really going to help you. All right. Two, he said mention accept that the past can't be changed. Right. If you're still holding on to what is not, it's not going to change anymore. It's already done. What's already done is already done. What's what already bought is already, so you know that. Listen, it's done. Forgive. Move on. Think about what you're becoming. That's what I love the most, right? But forgive yourself and others. That's definitely going to help you. If you don't forgive, and the reason why you want to forgive yourself and others is because first it starts with you. Shout out to HB Town. I saw your comment about saying it starts with self and self love is important. Number 3 was mentioned about making sure you declutter your physical space. The reason why you want to declutter is the same thing. Same thing of you want to acknowledge the same thing you need to declutter from home is what you need to work on with yourself. What do you need to declutter from you? All right, these are the same things that must be applied. All right, so also he mentioned letting go of roles and identity that no longer fit. If you're focusing on who you are becoming, them old roles, whatever you trying to show, it ain't gonna cut it. Because if you know, hey, this is still not getting me to where I need to be, you got it. That's where it go back to the acknowledgement. All right. And stop replaying old stories. Oh, but that happened and that happened. It already happened. What are we holding on to the story if it's not taking us to where it need to be? What are we holding on to what someone did to us if it's just making us still be in pain? I don't want anyone to be in pain. I don't want any one of us hurting. So we keep holding on to that. We could cry it out, boo it out, whatever we need to. But if we keep holding on, oh my goodness, I'm hurt, I'm hurt. Like you need to let it, you need to be able to make sure you forgive for yourself. Because sometimes we think we put ourselves through it. But hey, even if you did, forgive it. It happened, learn the lesson, and make sure we're moving on. Seek closure. And the closure is not from the individual. You may need to pray. That's what you mentioned to meditate, seek closure, and create new things to make your life even more better. And guys, make sure importantly, always practice gratitude. Gratitude, just be thankful, guys. Be thankful you see the day. Be thankful that you get a chance to create, that you can be able to replace the, look, get rid, let go. You be grateful for that, that you can let go. Be grateful for that. All right. I'm so happy to know that you can even take small steps because it's not about, oh, I got to get it done real fast, real quick. We could take the small steps. It's okay, but don't take any moment for granted. Know that you can take a small step every day, every second throughout the day, and everything is going to be worth it. Because when you look at your life, like, dang, I remember when I thought it was hard, but now it's even better.
That is so true, so true, so true. I really don't even have nothing else to say to that because she she said it all. She said it all. But no, I like I said, I do have some reflection questions. If somebody would like to come up to answer the questions, that's perfectly fine. You can hit the request button. I will let you up. Look, there is more space up here. But also you can answer in the chat as well. But again, this is a free space. You can definitely come up and express yourself. There's no judgment here. So if you really want to speak out your answer instead of typing in the chat, just hit the request and I will definitely pull you up to allow you to speak. But the first question that I have for you guys is, what am I currently holding on to that no longer serves my growth or peace? What am I currently holding on to that no longer serves my growth or my peace? For me, I'm going to answer these questions too, just make y'all not feel alone. The currently thing that I'm holding on that no longer serves my growth or peace is honestly the fear of growth. That is really my fear. It's just like I said, not even say success because I don't consider it success. I just consider it opportunities. My opportunities have been coming at me very rapidly, very quickly, and it's kind of sometimes hard for me to process because again, I'm an introvert. I really don't have to do all of this, or I don't even have to be seen. But it's a gift that God has given me, and I'm going to use it to the best of my abilities. I'm going to make sure I'm touching and encouraging and uplifting people's lives and making a difference in the world the best way that I possibly can. So, yeah, the growth of the unknown, definitely. So that is something that I know I have to let go to be able to move forward, to be able to see the things that I see in my dreams and in my visions, to be able to step in and walk to with peace and grace. By also, again, acknowledging what I'm dealing with now and being comfortable with what I'm dealing with now. Look, dealing with the 13 people in the room so I can be ready to deal with the 13,000 people in these arenas. So I'm just, like I said, just trying to adapt and build the necessity skills and things that I need to learn to make sure I can no longer have these fears. So I can release of the past and be able to accept the new things that are coming in my life. So look, Tiff, you want to answer that? I can definitely let you answer too if you want to. Up to you.
Yeah, no. Those who are coming in, let me just approve all this stuff real quick. And thank you guys for being here. Then we're looking at all the comments. I'm answering the question what I'm currently holding on to that no longer serves my growth, or peace. This is for all the kind hearts, my sheeps, my lambs. I hold on to the idea of being worried and concerned if others is going to grow as well, right? I don't mind growing and taking off, but I am worried if others is not growing with me. So what holds me back sometimes is that I will overdo it. And that's what I've been working on. So when y'all don't see me on live and these different things, is because I'm working on making sure that I pour more into me, into my growth, so I could be able to show up in a better way. And that's really just definitely going to hold me. So I know that what I was holding on to is like, oh, I want to make sure I help everyone. I want to make sure I do this. I want to make sure I do that. And sometimes God is like, this time you gotta work on you, pour into you. And I was just holding on to making sure I keep pouring in as so much to everyone, and it's all love, and it was for a reason. But this time around, it's like if you don't do what needs to be done, you're not going to be able to get to that next step that I'm calling you to.
I understand that. I understand that completely. Like we try to see everybody else grow, and sometimes again we forget about ourselves. So we have to start pouring into us too, um, because we got to grow too. We can't just sit back and allow the dust to collect on us while we are motivating and pushing everybody else forward, and we seeing their lives growing and becoming better, and we're just sitting here with the same dusty old shoes, with the same old shirt with the hole in it. So we have to build our confidence and our morale and everything else up as well, and be, I'm not gonna say even be examples, because I'm not trying to be an example. I just want you guys to know that with putting in consistency and putting in effort to do anything that you want to achieve in life, that's all it takes. That's all it takes is giving a try, taking those chances, believing in yourself, and not allowing the world and the people of this world to discourage you or break you and feel like that you're less than what you truly are. Because God gave you these gifts and these tools at birth, at that embryo stage. So it's just now believing in yourself and tapping into those things and knowing that God has you. God is going to take those steps for you, but you have to make those first steps. Look, make the first steps, he'll take the next 10. So just believe in yourself and keep going. And now look, I have two more questions, and then we're gonna wrap this thing on up. Next question. What fear is keeping me connected to something I know I need to let go of? What fear is keeping me connected to something I know I need to let go of? And look, I'll go ahead and answer it off rip. Even though my name is No Fear, No Doubt, there is at times in my life where doubt still comes. Like Nicole put in the chat. Sometimes I doubt the calling that God has over my life, because I honestly sometimes don't see it physically, or I can't see it, playing out in my head. But that's again holding me back. That's a fear of not thinking that I'm good enough, even though I know that I'm good enough. I know that God gave me these gifts for a reason. I know that I am actually touching and uplifting and changing people's lives for the people that are actually listening and applying it properly to their lives. So that definitely occurs to me, even though look, my name is No Fear, No Doubt. It still happens. I'm still human. I still breathe the same air that you breathe. I'm not a robot. I'm not perfect. I don't want to be put on a pedestal to be looked upon or look, he's just so great. He does no wrong. No, I'm human. I worry, I fear, but I just change that mindset quickly. I don't dwell in it. I don't allow it to affect me or allow it to affect my mood for so long. Because I admit this week, I was a little low. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I did not go live at all because I was in my feelings. I was in my emotions. Like, am I really good at this? Am I really going to, make a difference? But look, had that talk, changed that mindset real quick. And now look, this flame inside of me is just burning tremendously high, and nothing's going to put it out. So, look, does anybody want to answer the question?
I say mine's really quick. My fear was, just wanting to know what's going to happen, you know, even though the unknown, right? That's the fear of me. I need to know what's going to happen. I'm like, God, I need to know my story right now. I need to know. I need to know. And that fear of just not knowing, stops me sometimes from going places that I need to be going. Cause I'm like, oh, I don't know if it's happening. Like if I jump on that, I don't know what's gonna happen if I jump on that plane. I don't know, and because I don't know, I'll be like, I'm so cautious with everything. Because when you watch the news, and guys, the news and stuff like that can mess you up if you just have certain fears. So that's one of mine. If anybody feel like joining up to share what's one of theirs, feel free.
Definitely. Like I said, the floor is open for anybody. And I think there is something that holds a lot of people back, the unknown. But that's again the whole point. We're not supposed to know the unknown, because that's where God's where God wants us to build our faith and our trust in Him. to believe that and know that things are going to get better even though we can't see it. That's where faith come in. That's where false evidence, things unseen and wishing, I ain't gonna try to quote it because it's wrong, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. But that's why, we're not technically supposed to go to fortune tellers and things of that matter, because we have to trust and believe within ourselves and know that by us putting in the effort and the consistency of trying to become better, nothing is going to come from that but positive things. Like I always say, positive thoughts create positive actions, which create positive results. So once you stick to that and know that, then you don't have any fears or doubts of things not going wrong, because you are already building those steps to make, the solution to be positive. So that's just something to keep in mind, because it gets hard. It really does. Like I said, the doubt does creep in because something may change and, emergencies happens or something just happens out of the blue that you didn't even expect. But you just adjust, you readapt, you change your mindset quickly instead of allowing the negative to overpower the positive. Bring the one who died in your sins and the new journey, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Yeah, I don't know why it won't let me approve that, but okay. There we go. All right. The last question. What is one small step I can take today to release something old and embrace something new? What is one small step I can take today to release something old and embrace something new? I'm going to say walk more into my purpose. And that's what I'm going to say is believing more into my purpose. And that is by releasing the doubt and embracing the new adventures that are coming my way. Letting go of the doubt of not being good enough and embracing the gifts that God has given me. Because look, I drop gems all day, they say, and I don't even realize it. Like I say, I don't even notice it. It flows. So now I need to embrace that and just continue to move forward and love and enjoy this journey that I'm being taken on, and look, it's help as many people as I possibly can.
Great question. Great question. Thank you guys. I'm reading every comment that's coming in. Thanks for the tabs. We appreciate everything. Yes, the question was, what is one small step I could take today to release something old and embrace something new? I think sometimes the smallest step that some people ignore is their intuition, is what's nudging up even their dreams, right? And these messages, that is, that the step is to acknowledge it, to make sure we see what was being called to do. So when I said, hey, the one small step I need to do is start rearranging things, I started to do that so I could make room for the new things, right? So I'm like, oh, I got to get rid of some stuff. I got to rearrange the setup, and this is definitely going to help. So that's the small step I already have started to take action with.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Sorry, just reading the comments. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Thanks to everybody that just joined. Again, we talked about out with the old, making room for the new. Just a brief look summary for everybody that came in. We just basically used an example as an old TV. Having an old TV from the 1990s or even the 2000s. The plugs, the screen isn't clear. We got little marks on the screen. The buttons are missing. You don't have the controller. So it's just time to let that thing go. Time to wipe the dust off of that cabinet that has been sitting on for so long, and time to replace it with a new high definition, new clarity, new focus. And we're using the TV as an example as your life. It's time to replace old relationships, old feelings, old fears, and replace it with a new mindset that allows you to know that growth is okay. Growth is good. It's time to let that old stuff go. Time to walk into your purpose, and time to accept, the new person that you are becoming, because it's nothing but greatness ahead of you if you really tap into that individual that you're trying to become and believe that you can do these things in life. Because there's always going to be trials and tribulations. But we have to let go of the old things to be able to open our hands to receive the new stuff. So if Tiff has anything else to say, we're going to look. Guess end this live because we have fulfilled the purpose. We have told told the tale.
Yes, guys. Overall, we hope you really truly enjoyed the live of letting go the old and breaking in the new. This live topic is very a deep one and touching to me, just due to the fact, and I'm just going to be real with just being transparent on everything. In order to truly do this, you got to be really real with yourself. You got to be really real with yourself and don't get caught. They always say the saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. Sometimes we just get caught up with just seeing the one thing because we too close and we need to step back and look at the bigger picture. And if your picture includes others too, you need to be mindful of the people in your lives, of the choices you're making, of the habits you have. And if it's not taking you where it needs to be to grow who you are, to grow your better habits, to take you to the person you need to become, to grow your family, to take them to better places where you would like them to go as well, even being mindful of them. This is to grow the relationship with God or your higher power, whatever you believe. These are the things you want to think about to grow your finances. What are the things you need to do? What things you need to stop doing, right? And this is not easy. It's a process. This is why we say acknowledge it and take the small steps. But in order to do this, you got to be real with yourself. You're going to listen to many live events, many great information. But if you just take it to stay stuck in your ways and knowing you're not going to get the good outcome, then it's not going to really take you far. So I want to, just be mindful of that. Don't say, oh, I heard something good and I'm going to use it to this. No, 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 no. Use it to make sure it's taking you to, because people are going to see the outcome, right? We live in our lives on social media platform. People's going to see, hey, these are the outcomes. If it's still implementing to your old ways, people will know too. Same thing with everything we're doing. So we really hope you guys enjoy the live. Thank you for all. We appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. See you guys.
Good morning, Sir Lancelot. Welcome in, Deja Vu. Thank you that you enjoyed the live. I appreciate everybody for the taps, the gifts, the support, the shares, all of that. I do want to just run through these tips one more time. I'm not going to give y'all the example, but I'm just going to go through the 12 tips one more time just so y'all can have them, or if y'all want to write them down, because they are great tips. Thank you so much. The first tip is acknowledge what you're holding on to. Second tip is accept that the past can't be changed. The third tip is forgive yourself and others. Fourth is declutter your physical space. Fifth is to let go of roles and identities that no longer fit. Seventh was to seek closure even if you have to create it. Number 8 was surround yourself with new energy. Number 9 was practice gratitude for what once was. Number 10 was focus on who you are becoming. Number 11, pray or meditate for release. And number 12, take small steps every day because they lead to bigger steps and bigger opportunities. You can unmute. Go ahead. Lance asked what you laughing at.
No, silly. Lance is so silly. I'm laughing at no fear. I can see him looking away. I see he's laughing at probably wait for you or someone. I see him laughing at something else that so I was looking at what he was doing. I could tell. So I was laughing at him because he was trying to get the words out of the tips and he was laughing with it. So I'm like,
Yeah,
the tips are great.
she's sitting right across from me. Of course she is.
I know. I was like, I was laughing with him because I could see.
Yeah, she always think I'm trying to be look cocky because I was talking about their good tips, and she's just gonna laugh. But no, I was not saying thank you for. I was thanking somebody in the chat for saying always good lives. So, but anyway, again, I appreciate everybody for the time for today. I appreciate y'all for the taps, the love, the support, the gifts, the shares. This is exciting. Every time me and Tiff collab, it is amazing. Yeah, I'm just thankful for her for taking the time. and look, being my tag team partner in this topic. But if anybody has any questions, concerns, remarks, suggestions, you definitely can put it in the chat, and we will look answer them before we end this live. Um, but again, I thank everybody for being here.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate you so much. And I just wanted to make sure people understand that a new year is right around the corner, guys. It's so right around the corner. And beyond the New Year's, another day is always right there. Another second is always right there. And in order to make sure you are taking yourself to the next level and the next things that you need to do, start utilizing the tips that's being, provided. Acknowledge the reflection questions. Even if you don't do it here, think about the question, journal it. Journal it. Take the time. This is it's not easy for everybody. You wanna work on it. So I'm honored. Thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate everyone. Thank you for the gifts, and thank you, Vaughn, for actually having me on this topic. The Dr. No Fear, the life coaching. We appreciate you. Don't laugh. You laughing at us. But no, it's a reason why he was called Dr. No Fear, because coaches do heal people in different ways, right? They make sure we have these X-rays in front of us to look within ourselves and beyond. Like not the real position, but you get what I'm saying. The questions that they ask to make us go within to start working on ourselves and start healing ourselves. And we see these reflection questions that he give us, and to know that most people are working on it and healing themselves from the questions and the things like that. We appreciate you, Dr. No Fear. That's why we call you that, but you're still the life coaching. We got you, no doubt, as always. And the positivity bond, we got it all in one shot, one deal. We looking forward to these books, the ebooks you're going to be dropping, and that's coming soon. He has a lot on his way. God is calling him to do many, many, many things. I know I'll be behind the scenes challenging him. We all challenging him every time. He probably like, I can't get a break. So don't forget, let them know about the upcoming podcast shows, the different shows you got going on. And thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, thank you for explaining the Doctor No Fear, so now they understand that I'm not a real doctor. But no, I am definitely going to share the books I'm working on. I'm not even working on; they're done. I just have to get them out. But the goal is to have them out the week, hopefully like the second week of December, so you guys can get them and read them, and look, perfect Christmas gifts that y'all can share out to family members too, because look, these are some books that people are going to need to read to get a better understanding of self-love and confidence, because those are the first two that I'm going to have out. And yes, I have some podcasts coming out. Some, I know one for sure is December 19th that will be released on every platform, everywhere. So many more things to come. Look, I don't even know right now off the top of my head, but like I said, I will be posting and sharing. Definitely, Tiff does look in the backgrounds, push me, motivate me to let me look, keep going. I better not stop. Look, no breaks, little quick breaths, and keep on going. But again, I thank her for that. But yes, if nobody has any other questions, concerns, remarks, or suggestions, I just want to say I hope you have a blessed rest of y'all Saturday. Get out there and enjoy the beautiful fall weather. Let the sun touch your skin. Take in some deep breaths and just enjoy life. Because again, life is short. You have to appreciate it. You got to be thankful for even the small things, and just keep pushing, praying until something happens, y'all. So I'm gonna let Tiff down if she has nothing else to say, and we're gonna keep on going.
I agree, guys. Don't take that for granted. Life could be, they say life is short, but you just never know when it's your time. Okay. And that's one of my fears. That's what my anxieties I suffer with deep down, with not knowing when is the last day with any one of us is always. That's why I want to make sure, whether you, even if you have to let certain people go, always wish them well, genuinely from the heart. You know, please do so, because you just never know. Never go to bed angry with your loved ones. Try to clear it out, even if it's departing ways, but make sure you don't do that. Work on how to always improve it and to get better. Enjoy every moment of life, embrace it, don't let it pass you by, and make sure you keep thinking about new ways, new habits, new better lifestyle, everything on the new. And thank you so much. You can let me down.
All right. Look, land gracefully, land gracefully. All right, y'all. Again, I appreciate everybody here. This was, again, like I said, a powerful duo live. We always have. I hope everybody learned something today, take something home with them to apply it with their daily life. And just remember, you got to make room for the new. So we got to let go. Let go and let God, y'all. Thank you all for the gifts, the taps, the supports, the shares. And like I said, if you were here today, it was meant for you to hear what we just had shared. And again, I'm going to let y'all go because I got stuff to do this Saturday too. Got to go entertain these dogs and got some running around to do. So I appreciate y'all again. Y'all have a great day.